Now, broadcasting from his secret safe house, deep behind enemy lines, in socialist-occupied territory, talking to you on Americanist Radio, it's the Resistance leader, Rick Young.
Hey guys, Americanism is back for the second episode, episode 2. It is Tuesday the 12th. We got started about 2 minutes early, but that's okay. Who's really counting? I'm not. I want to tell you about an event. If you were on or watching the live stream on Facebook of this, you got to hear a little bit about it already. The Patriot Network Summit is coming up April. That's April 26th through the 28th in Doug Spur, Virginia at the Kanawha Valley Arena Resort. That's the Kanawha Valley Arena Resort in Doug Spur. It's hosted by the Stokes County Militia Disaster Relief, SCM Disaster Relief. If you get your tickets early, it's $45 if you get it at the gate. The weekend pass is $55. If you just want to go Saturday, it's only $25. There is VIP tickets available. They're $100. That includes the Friday night party, which sounds absolutely amazing. I'm going to try to make it myself. It starts Friday night at 6:30 in the saloon. For those who don't know, Kanawha Valley is this awesome location in Virginia. It's in the middle of nowhere, and it's set up to look like an old western town. It's about 15 minutes from Hillsvale, Virginia, and Highway 77. It's family friendly. Kids of all ages are welcome. There's a saloon on site. Responsible drinking is allowed. Open carry is allowed. It is a Patriot rally. Bathhouses for campers. There are campsites available. There's full RV hookups. $50 for the whole weekend. I think that's a pretty generous number. Partial RV hookups if you just need electric for $40. The hotels in the immediately in the vicinity are sold out, but there are hotels within 15-20 minutes available. There's 2 cabins that sleep 6 each. That's being raffled off right now on the Facebook page, and we're gonna post the Facebook page up on the Americanist Radio page. That way you can see it. I think we're gonna share it pretty much every day that we can. There's 2 speakers, really notable speakers that I want you to know about if you're thinking about going. One of them is KrisAnne Hall. She's a 6-time author. She wrote 6 books. Having to do with the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, all things most important. She's ex-Army. She's a Russian linguist. And she's a frequent speaker on television, radio shows, accomplished author. I could go on and on about her. I read one of her books. Absolutely incredible work. Extraordinarily intelligent woman. The other speaker is Jeanette Finicum, and that's Lavoy Finicum's wife. Or widow. If you don't know who that is, back in April, I believe, no, it wasn't April, it was spring of 2014, some patriots having to do with the BLM standoff actually took over the Oregon Wildlife Refuge building out of season when it's locked up and there's nobody there, and they had a standoff with the FBI and the police. Lavoy Finicum was, I believe he was an older gentleman, and he was part of an envoy that was sent in a vehicle off the refuge grounds to meet with the FBI and the state police that were in this standoff with them, and they were part of a peaceful envoy. My understanding is they were all unarmed, and Lavoy in particular was unarmed. The FBI and the state police ambushed the vehicle, and they literally ran up, did a vehicle interdiction, and started firing into the vehicle, even though nobody had it's all caught on helicopter video, nobody had a weapon. Or was acting in a threatening way towards anyone. It was a peaceful envoy, and Lavoy exfilled from the vehicle, and while standing in the snow, clear as day on the video, with his hands apart, his hands up, was shot and killed. And I don't remember the details exact, but I know that FBI agent and all those involved were actually investigated for that shooting. And, I mean, absolutely senseless, tragic death. And it's kind of a sign of the tyrannical government overstep that we see every single day. They were part of a peaceful envoy that was on their way to meet with the FBI and the state police to negotiate. And they were literally ambushed. They were ambushed, their vehicle was shot up, and Lavoy Finicum was killed. His wife, Jeanette, is going to be at the Patriot Network rally. I'm hoping, and I don't know this yet, I haven't even asked yet, that I'm going to get to at least meet with her. I'd like to speak with her and maybe even interview her if I can. But we're going to try. We don't know yet. I haven't even asked. Anyway, That is at the Patriot Network rally in Kanawha Valley Arena Resort in Dougspur, Virginia, April 26th through the 28th. We're going to put it up on the Facebook page so you can see it. So to get into what we have going on tonight, if you heard the new intro, you know it's corny and it's cool and I like it. I'm all about it. I think it's awesome. That comes courtesy of Radio Music Creative. It's an awesome website. It's actually a British company. I know I joke about the British all the time, especially about them not mattering, not since 1776 anyway, and they really don't. But that's okay. They do great work. They didn't ask me to do this endorsement. They didn't pay me to do this endorsement. I actually approached them because it's a political show, and some people I wanted to be respectful for. I went to them and I asked if they were okay with me doing this, with me saying that they were the ones who made that corny, cheesy intro for me. And they did absolutely awesome work. I'm up early. I'm up by 4:45, 5:15 in the morning. And I was messaging their, customer support at like 5:30 in the morning with questions after I made the order. And they got back to me within half an hour. And yes, I know it's a different time zone there. There's several hours ahead of us. It was probably the middle of the day. But the fact that they got ahead of me or got back to me so quickly was awesome. And it was ready the next day. It was very literally ready probably within 12 to 14 hours of me clicking send and hitting enter, and they got it done for me, and I think it's awesome. I gave them, they designed it, they wrote it out, and I love the new intro. We're going to play it before every show. Corny, and I love it, and it's true. We're fighting here. This is a Cold War against socialism, and that's what we're up against, and that's scary to me, and that should be scary to you. The fact that we have open socialists in Congress, we have our favorite misfiring brain cell, Ocasio-Cortez, really leading the charge. And luckily, she's been quiet the last couple of days, but Pelosi hasn't. Pelosi has not been quiet at all. And she actually came out, yesterday, and she was talking about how she is now not for impeaching the president. She is backing off of impeaching Trump. Now, this is a woman who very literally was literally the day of his inauguration, this woman was speaking about impeachment. And we talked about this before. The Democrats have tried to impeach every Republican president since Eisenhower. They've tried. And, here they are finally backing off. And Pelosi said the other day, yesterday, that she's not all for it because it's too divisive. Think about this. The Speaker of the House, Democrat Pelosi, the vampiric one, actually said that impeaching the president is too divisive. And I am very, very suspicious of this. And I think I know why she's backing off. She's backing off because she needs her party to gain traction. She needs her party, especially because the elections are coming up. And remember, before elections, they bring in advisors. They bring in, political researchers. They bring in politicists. They bring these people in. And I think the reason that Pelosi is backing off here and saying she's not after impeaching the president now is because we're in 2019 already. We're 3 months in. We got 9 months until 2020, and we got those elections coming up. And I think that we know that she got word ahead. She knows that the Mueller report is nothing. We know it's nothing. You guys know it's nothing. Everybody knows it's nothing except for, the most brain dead of the extreme left and the Democrats who actually believe. They've been online talking about it for months, and we've been watching it. He's going to take down Trump. Mueller's going to take down Trump. Cohen is going to flip and take down Trump. And they've been talking about this for months. They've been talking about this for a year. And I loved it when they went after Cohen and they arrested him and they charged him. And that was the thing, was Cohen's going to flip. Cohen's going to flip and take down Trump. Cohen was arrested and charged for like 11-year-old tax fraud. They didn't find a crime. And remember, they dug through with a fine-tooth comb. They wanted to nail Cohen because when they first went after him, they first investigated him. They first went for him. He was Trump's attorney. He was Trump's right-hand man. He was his confidant. he was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to be the guy that if anyone's going to have dirt, it's going to be Cohen. And, you know, Cohen got busted for 12-year-old fraud. That's how deep they looked into his records. They found 12 and 13-year-old tax and bank fraud. They didn't find anything within a decade of him working for Trump and on his campaign. They didn't find anything remotely close, but they nailed him to the wall for this 11 and 12-year-old tax evasion and tax fraud. Taxation is theft. It's a bogus scam to steal and extort you for your money and steal your money, obviously. Excuse me. I'm still getting over that cold I was talking about on Sunday. But they've been talking about him taking him down, and now it's all over. The Mueller report, we know the investigation is done. $22 million of your money, of my money, $22 million gone. It was extorted from us at gunpoint. It was taken from our paychecks. It was taken by the government, and then it was spent trying to investigate the duly and fairly elected president that we elected because the Democrats could not handle Hillary Clinton losing. That's what it comes down to. And they turned around and tried Cohen. And Cohen gave up nothing. In fact, he probably perjured himself again. I forget which congressman it was, actually filed the same day that the third day of his testimony ended, that same day, filed a referral for investigation over him failing to disclose foreign contracts on the paper. And, you know, it's turned into nothing. Mueller is nothing. They know his report is going to come out and be absolutely nothing. And now that they know that, and technically the Democrats should not have pre-word. The Democrats shouldn't know before the Republicans know, and they shouldn't know before the public knows. But you know that Mueller is leaking this information to the Democrats. You know it. And I think that's why Pelosi is backing off, is because we're coming up to these 2020 elections, and they know that Mueller found absolutely nothing. Everything that they were looking into, everybody they were talking about, everybody that they were going to raid leaked before it actually happened. It leaked from Mueller directly. It leaked from his office. It leaked from the Democrats. It leaked on into the national media, and we heard about it before it even happened, or we heard about it as it was happening. CNN was tipped off when Roger Stonehouse was raided. He was there. They knew. And, you know, we're coming up on these elections, and they know it's going to be nothing. So they're backing off because Pelosi's right. She didn't lie. For once, the vampiric one told the truth. Impeaching the president is pretty divisive. That's pretty damn divisive language. But think about how much they've been throwing around impeachment. You've been hearing about it every day. You've been hearing about it every day since before he was elected. These are people that have been talking about impeaching the president since before he took office, merely because they could not handle Clinton losing. Democrats are crybabies. When you try to impeach every president that is not part of your party since Eisenhower, you're a crybaby and you can't handle losing. And I think it's because one type of person votes for the same type of person, and a lot of the Democrats voting today grew up not getting their butts beat. We spoke about this the other day. So they're electing crybabies who always got what they wanted, and got what they wanted if they threw a temper tantrum hard enough. And now there they are. They got it. She got it. Pelosi finally gets it. It is too divisive, and if the Democrats have a standing chance, I mean a snowball's chance in Hades, then they need to be less divisive. And her exact quote was that she's not for impeaching Trump, that he's not worth it. Not it's not worth it, he's not worth it. And I think she chose that wording carefully when you look at Pelosi, the way Pelosi speaks. I think she chose that language carefully, and she chose it to be kind of a cheap shot at him, like, oh, he's not worth anything. She meant it's not worth it. And she's right, because continuing trying is not going to go anywhere. We know for a fact that you cannot impeach a president just because you don't like that your candidate lost. That's not an option. He has to have done a crime. And if you remember, after Cohen turned out to be nothing, they had subpoenaed 81 or 82 people and different documents, and now all that's gone away. You're not hearing about that now. And I think it's because somebody finally